Yeah, we're back, and it's the football segment of the show. And like you see, it's the Premier League with Arsenal being the butler of the Premier League right now. And everybody does, most Arsenal fans are still living in denial. The fact that they might still win the league, which I think is close to impossible. They blew their chance against Southampton. It took some soft peddling from Theo Walcott for Arsenal not to have gone at least 3-0 down in the first half. And it boils down to a few things. People keep saying nerve, and I heard Jimmy Carragher saying it's overconfidence. What do you think is the problem? Uh, the Liverpool game, understandably so, but the game
West Ham and Southampton.
against West Ham and Southampton is something that I would not expect going 2-0 up against West Ham. They considered two goals, two cheap goals. No thanks to Thomas Partey and the rest of the clique. And the same thing happened. Odegaard misplacing the pass, Thomas Partey doing an individual error in his own half, and Aaron Ramsey giving the ball to the Southampton guy, Macaras, in the first minutes, within the first 25 seconds, 27 seconds of the game.
Mhm.
And this all happened at the Emirates. Kachi, do you bring it down to nerve, or do you think it's overconfidence in the part of the guy,
Oh,
or it's a
definitely
combination of
nerves.
both?
Definitely nerves there, but I was going to say the two people who have experienced championship winning seasons are not two of the most vocal people on the team, Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. What they needed was someone who has seen how the season ebbs and flow, being one of the. Imagine if it was a was Xhaka that has won a premiership before. I think
Uh-huh.
they would have been able to calm whatever nerves they were having down. It's definitely nerves. These guys are feeling the pressure. I think it's also nerves on the part of Arteta. Say what you may, it's been an amazing season for him, I know. But having come this close and potentially losing it, it will feel like a failure. For 2, 3 weeks down the line, when you find out you will be playing in the Champions League next season for the first time in 7 years,
Yeah.
then you will see that it's a success. However, coming back to what you have asked me, this the inexperience of the team having not faced this before, and it's not
With
the
this
first
kind of
time.
situation.
It's not the
Yeah.
first time they had the opportunity to close out fourth position last year.
Last season, yeah.
They capitulated. Now that is
Mm-hmm.
not what they're facing. Arsenal has not been in this position, at least with this crop of players and this coach since, and the nerves are showing. I agree they have the tougher running to the end of the season compared to
City.
City. However, if they had picked 6 points from a possible nine as against three
Mm-hmm.
points, the story would have been different.
Have been
So it's
different.
definitely the nerves that are showing. Ramsdale was not, we know Ramsdale to be slightly erratic, but not as careless as he was in the game against Southampton. Uh, the decision making of these guys, Thomas Partey, who could have taken a better decision at the last minute to
Uh-huh.
see if they could have gotten a goal. So they are rushing a lot of their decisions simply because they don't have history to fall back on. That, oh, this is how you do it if you are trying to win a
If, the
championship.
kind of
Exactly.
situation.
So
All right, perfect.
more nerves than overconfidence, in my opinion.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you very much. Moving on quickly, we'll just go to the fact that Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique have ruled themselves out of the job at Chelsea. I
Mhm.
don't know what the discussions are or why those guys have actually said they are not good, but this is according to Fabrizio Romani,
Romano.
the super guy that gives us all the information across Europe.
Mhm.
But Pochettino is in the running for it. Vessel Company is in the running for it, and of course, the Celtic manager Petusgo is in the running for it. As of these three guys, who do you think will be better? Is it going to be Pochettino? He has history in the Premier League. He has a very calm personality. This is what they need in the team as well. Someone that can stick the team together. He has been able to mentor young guys in the past. Vessel Company, this is another young budding manager coming straight from the championship. This was one of the issues Arsenal had against Mikel Arteta before they went for Unai Emery. Arteta was supposed to get a job before Unai Emery, but they gave the job to Unai Emery, believing Emery as is better talented. or
Mm-hmm.
well suited because of his
Pedigree.
managerial experience. But in the long run, the same Nairobi was sacked to get Mikel Arteta. And Postigo has been with Celtic for quite a while, been in the Greek league as well. Won a couple of championship in the Greek league. Out of these three, who would you be picking? For me personally, I would say Company versus Company. But my head would tell me Pochettino is better given his history in the Premier League.
Um, I want to say something before I go into that question. The
Yeah,
two people who dropped out are probably two of the most strong-minded personalities in
in the
current
running.
world football. These are people that will want to have a big say in who is signed, who is let go. People who want to be involved, they just don't want, they won't stick to just coaching. They want to
Yeah,
be involved also in the personnel aspect of that. And that
of
tells me
course.
that there is uh, what Chelsea is looking for now is a yes man,
Yes,
which
man.
which tells me they are not yet ready to come out of whatever funk they are in. Um, Todd Bowley has not yet realized, and that's what happens when you let everybody go and you don't leave people with the history of how the club operates to
Hmm.
guide you. Even in the corporate world, when I want to change jobs, especially the kind of position we occupy, and we notify the company, they bring someone to understudy you. They don't just tell you to go and the new person, hey, come and sink or swim. That is what Chelsea is doing right now. They are looking for yes men. Now back to your question. In light of all this, Pochettino, in my opinion, is the quintessential yes man of European football. Um, I don't think he wants to be involved in personnel. Give me the player. Okay, I like these players. Give them to me and coach. I mean, for him to go to a PSG and not be able to stamp his authority tells me that he's a yes man. He doesn't have the, pardon my French, the cojones to become his own person and instill the discipline he needs to instill. Because to instill your style of football, you must first instill your style of discipline. I don't think Pochettino will do it. Uh, for Postecoglou, uh, not so much is known about him. We thought Brendan Rodgers also did so well. Let's not forget he did well in Scotland, and then he came to England, did well with Leicester for 1 or 2 years, and now we're beginning to see his inefficiency. And I think that inefficiency will come. He has not faced the kind of opposition that he would face in the English Premier
In
League
the Premier
week
League.
in, week out. Yes, I know the Celtics fan base is also as crazy as the Chelsea fan base, if not even crazier. However, the amount of resources, the amount of talent, the amount of egos tells me that he would also struggle just like Graham Potter has struggled. All that being said, I think it's probably time for them to start afresh. I watched a clip of Benson Company tearing into his team after they
Yeah.
played a very drab first half,
Uh-huh.
and I think he has the personality. He's a winning Premier League captain, winning FA Cup
Uh-huh.
captain, winning
Hmm.
Carabao Cup and Europa. So he has played. He has played. I believe he played in the finals of the Champions League. Played in about two semi-finals. He has been where these guys want to be, and I think his voice will be a breath of fresh air. He is not the best for them, but out of the three that are left, I think he's the best fit.
He's the best. All right. Perfect. And of course, Thiago Silva came out to say, tell us his own opinion about the squad of the Chelsea.
Mhm,
Like there are too many, and the coaches can only do what he needs to do. So it
mhm,
just goes to show us that there's a little bit of crack, even within the team, and
mhm,
what they think of the management of the team. And
mhm,
Todd Bodley last week, after the game against Brighton, went into the dressing room to give the players a talking down.
mhm,
And the report says that was not demoralizing for the guys. It's unexpected, but it was not demoralizing, and that's why they came
mhm.
out all gun blazing, a bit losing against Real
Madrid.
Madrid. And of course, Lampard came in to weigh his own voice into it, saying, "Yo, during the time of Abramovich, he comes into the dressing room
Yeah.
to talk to us
Yeah.
sometimes, and this is not abnormal. So you guys should get used to it. And Kachi, all this that I'm saying is just to ask you a question towards the fact that Todd Bodley, he doesn't understand football. He doesn't
Mhm.
understand football management.
Yeah.
Is it about time he leaves the scene and just give the helms of appear to people that understand football? He has a sporting director, for crying out loud. And he brought this sporting director from RB Salzburg, for crying out loud.
Mhm.
And for some crazy reason, the day-to-day running of the club, he still wants to handle that.
Yeah.
He wants to make all these errors, try and errors, and everybody wants to blame the players, wants to blame the coaches, wants to blame the internal staff, while the structure itself is bad. It's like you working with Deloitte, and the structure of Deloitte is bad.
It's bad.
You are not the problem.
Yeah.
You are not the problem. If you go to a more stable environment, you perform better.
Mhm.
So is it about time that it does that? I asked Olawale the same question last week, and I'm sorry I'm asking you again this week.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, and it's a very good question. Actually, it's a question that answers itself because we know that Boli does not have the experience of running an organization that operates the way Chelsea operates. I mean, this is not an classic American sport where there is no relegation, where you
Yeah.
just, if you don't make the championship, you try again the next year. There are no consequences for failure, so to speak, beyond
Mhm.
just sacking the coach. But in Europe, not qualifying for the marquee tournament means loss
It
of
is
revenue,
fun. Yeah.
means you can't attract the best players to make you relevant. In America, if you are the worst team this year, they give you the opportunity to select the next best
The
player from
best
from
players.
college.
Yeah.
That is not how it operates. So what he should have done was to adopt the Abramovich and the Elliott approach with Liverpool, which is let
Mhm.
our money invest, but let us trust the people who have been there. Uh,
Understand football to handle the
I will give you a very similar example, and this is an example close to my heart. After Berlusconi left AC Milan, all the other owners, the Chinese guy, the other guys, they ran AC Milan to the ground until two things happened. They
Yeah,
brought
they
back
brought back
the new
Ibanez.
owners brought back Maldini, who knows the
Mm-hmm.
dressing room, and he
Mm-hmm.
hired Tixi. They hired Tixi for 4 years. And in that 4 years, we saw AC Milan, they took
It was
a
a pathway.
direct decision. In year one, UEFA, please, we know we qualified for this tournament, but we
But
don't
we're
want to
not
be
participating.
disgraced. Fine us, don't give us our participation money, we don't mind. And we started to see deliberate player signing using sports sciences. Rafaela would not have, because Milan was not competing, but we were able to get Rafaela from Nice. I can't remember if it was
From
Nice or
Lille. From
from
Lille.
Lille,
Lille.
Benassa, and all these other guys. So when you trust the people who operate, now after 4 years, everybody believe, okay, Maldini has learned just beyond being a big name in the dressing room. He has also
Mm-hmm.
learned the technical side of business. That
Yeah.
Tixi could say, okay, I'm going now, Maldini. I think you are ready to evolve your
Yeah,
development.
your role.
That is what Chelsea needs right now. Bowley should not be involved. Let your money do the talking. Let the technocrats learn the game. Use the two
Mm-hmm.
years, 3 years, 4 years to learn this
To
sport.
learn.
We did not start hearing about Ibrahimovic going to the dressing room until Ibrahimovic had won the league twice with Jose Mourinho. So you already
Mm-hmm.
knew what the minimum
Expectations
expectation
were.
was. So he could go to them to tell them, you are not performing to my expectation. The first 2 years, he was just a cheerful fan, clapping, sitting
Clapping,
where he
yeah.
would sit.
Smiling,
We did
yeah.
not hear
At the
any other
director's
thing.
box. Yeah.
Bowley is trying so hard to be so involved in a project he has no idea of. And until they do what he needs to do, I'm sorry, Chelsea, you just might not even make the Champions League even in 2024.
Oh, wow. Bukachi, Question. Two questions for you. Difficult questions. Milan versus Inter Milan, and of course City versus Real Madrid. Who will be winning those? I know it's still a very long time. Things might change. Alan,
Yes.
Alan might break his leg
Alan will
before
break
the end.
his leg. He's breaking his leg. He has to break his leg
Okay,
because of what
but the
I'm going
brother
to
will be
say.
out of form.
Alan has to break his leg. De Bruyne has to have serious malaria, outbreak. Bernardo Silva has to have a system failure somewhere. But I joke all jokes aside, congratulations to the four teams that are left in the Champions League. You could say the first two were expected to be there. The
Uh-huh.
next two, definitely in no one's wildest dream, were they
No way.
expected to be there. As much as
Yeah.
I am a Milan fan, I did not sit here at the start of the season and I did not take Milan to be where
To
they are
be,
right now.
yeah,
I'm enjoying the ride. It's been a fun ride. But right now, we have the opportunity to make the final. For the first one is the Derby de la Madonnina.
yeah,
You always throw away the form guide
of
when
course.
it comes to the Derby. Even when they met in the quarterfinals in 2003, it ended in draws. Both
Zero
games
zero one
ended
one, yeah,
0-0, 1-1. Milan
1-1,
only
yeah.
went away because on the day it was
Of a win.
1-1, Inter were the home team. That
Supposed to
was the
home.
supposed home team. So all that being said, Inter is the form team now. We did not expect them to clinically dispatch Benfica as they did. It was a clinical performance. And credits to Simeone Inzaghi for what he did. All that being said, if Rafael Leao plays and inspire and let me say this, the change in Milan's form has coincided with the return of Magic Mike to the back four. He's more vocal than Tata
Yeah.
Luciano. He
Mm-hmm.
coordinates his back four.
The French.
Tomori and Simon Kier listen to him, and the captain is back. Calabria was able to marshal Osimhen very well. I'm not saying it's going to be a piece of cakewalk, but I totally just believe that sheer will get AC Milan over the hump.
Over the
But
line.
whoever wins, whether Milan or Inter, they will be severe underdogs to the winner of the game
Between
between
Madrid.
Madrid and City.
And Madrid versus City.
Madrid versus City. City has the better crop of players. But for some reason, I just feel that when
The
it
pedigree
comes
of
to this,
Madrid.
and remember I
Champions
said
League.
pedigree. Yeah, you people were like, what pedigree? Is it master's degree or bachelor's degree? What do you mean by pedigree? But you saw how the pedigree got AC Milan over it. But beyond just the pedigree, the overtinkering, because he's going to have sleepless nights. And due to those sleepless nights, he is going to overthink.
But I have not overtaken it so
Now
far this season.
but all through last season, he did not overtake her until he came to the semifinals. It's always at the
Yeah, that's
business
true.
end, of these
That's
games
gonna
that he
mess it up.
overtake her. But in all his overtaking, he has a weapon that he never had in all the times he's
In
taken
yes to
City
yes.
to the
Yeah.
Champions League semifinal or final. He has Erling Haaland, who has scored 48 goals right now in all competition and is looking to fire in all cylinders. Madrid plays at home first this time
First,
around.
yeah.
They need to have a good result. Even if they go with a 1-0 advantage, is enough to make the second leg a dicey game for
Difficult.
Manchester City. But all that being said, I think City wins it. This becomes the year that City
That City
ultimately
wins the treble.
becomes champions of Europe.
The year that they win the treble. City
The
for the
year
treble. Go
and
City.
it's so
Go.
sad. I
Yeah.
totally hope Milan gets to the final and the ghost of 1990, 2005 ultimately gets banished because it's at the same Istanbul Ataturk Stadium where the Istanbul miracle happened. Hopefully, we go in there as severe underdogs. We play a very inspired game, make it so boring, break everybody's leg, take it to
And
penalty, and we win it.
win.
If that
All right.
happens, I will be the happiest man. I
Keep
will
keep
probably
you
get a tattoo
keep
of AC Milan. Let me put it this way: I'm putting myself, and Debo, I want you to hold me to it. If Milan wins
okay.
this year's Champions League, I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm not saying a tattoo of AC Milan, but I'm going to get a tattoo.
The tattoo.
Mark
Okay.
it. I will film it
All right.
when that happens.
All right, perfect. And of course, City got to the final of the FA Cup without conceding a goal. They defeated the opponent 3-0. Manchester United could only go through penalties against Brighton, but here we are in the final against Man City, and this is the first time in the history of the FA Cup where we have a Manchester derby. It's not expected. City were nobody, and when City were in the upward trajectory, Manchester United are going down. So, but they are back now. They have two bad coach, two eccentric coach, two geniuses in their coaches as well. Manchester United looks to be the overwhelming underdog. They've lost their two centre backs, Varane and of course Lisandro Martinez. They have the inconsistent Harry Maguire and Lindelof to actually fall back on, which is a crazy one. Looks like City will be winning the treble, Kachi.
Yeah,
for me,
it looks like
they might be winning the treble, and for all I know, I don't wish them well in the league. They can win the Champions League and win the rest ones. Come on, give the
but it bodes well for AC Milan, for Arsenal if City is still involved in three cup finals before the season is over. I heard Pep Guardiola complain about his players getting tired mentally. I'm not sure how that would work. It's going to be, it's the FA Cup final. It's not going to be a blowout, but City would always have a chance as long as it's David De Gea and Harry Maguire on that team sheet. They are just way better. I'm sorry, I have to go there. They're just way. Harry Maguire. That's the most famous name right now in British football. How that guy continues to play ahead of Fikayo Tomori in the English national team, I will never understand.
It fits into the philosophy of the coach. You can't blame the coach, yeah. But of course, because our press on time, we won't go into that today. Anyways, this is the show, and that's the show for today. That's the wrap. Thank you very much, guys. We are looking for someone who wants to buy us a star on Facebook. Don't worry, next time I'll tell you how to buy us a star on Facebook. Thank you very much for everybody that liked, everybody that watched. We'll see you again next week. My name is Sidi Alija Adebol, and this is Oyekachi Nwadi, the oracle himself. He already touted Milan and City final, and he's saying Manchester City will win the FA Cup as well. I don't know. I kind of agree with him. I don't want Manchester United to be successful, so yeah, I am. I agree with you 100%. Kashi, of course, next week we'll be discussing the NBA again. We'll have a better word on the NBA, and we'll see how it's going to be. It's hotting up. You guys, if you don't like the NBA, it's right about time you start watching the NBA right now. Yeah, it is hotting up, and you will enjoy it. So we'll see you again next week. Bye, guys, and have a wonderful week ahead.